Hey, what's going on, you guys? Let's start in my pantry. I have some nutritional yeast flakes that I bought on eBay. They're a superfood. They're really good for you. Have a great amount of vitamins. It turns your pee orange, but do not be worried. And it tastes like Cheez-It crumbs, so I like that, especially when I'm dairy-free. I have some gelatin and some Jell-O in the back that I got, just a store brand. I like to make gummies and Jell-O with this because the traditional box Jell-O has maltodextrin, and you really want to avoid that. Also some refined coconut oil. It does not have the coconut flavor, which I really like. And then I use some lard for deep fat frying. I have some psyllium husk powder, which you can use if you're constipated. Just mix it up with some water. It's basically Metamucil without the flavoring, but I like to mix it with coconut flour, which you see back there, and I like to make my tortillas with that. So I'll go ahead and link that video down below. But yeah, there's the coconut flour. There's lots of things you can use coconut flour for. I have a big tub of citric acid and baking soda. I usually use these for bath bomb stuff, but they're food ingredients, so I keep them with my food. I have some seaweed, some nori wraps. You can make your homemade sushi, or you can just put sandwich ingredients in them and wrap it up that way instead of relying on those low-carb tortillas that are so bad for you. I have some apple cider vinegar and a backup. These are the two brands that I like the most, the Full Circle Organic and then the Bragg's. Full Circle I find at Stater Brothers. It's a local grocery store where I live. So I like to get that one because it's usually cheaper too. If you're going to do chicharrones, I highly recommend either getting the really fresh, delicious fried ones that have bacon attached to it, or get the ones that are like this, that it's just pork rinds and salt. You don't want to get the other ones that are flavored because 99% of the time, if not 100% of the time, they're made with dextrose and maltodextrin and stuff. So you want to avoid those flavored ones. But here's a big bag of chia seeds. Another superfood that is really, really delicious, high in fiber, and has a decent amount of protein for 1 tablespoon. 3 grams of protein, 60 calories, 3 grams of fat, but lots of fiber right here if you guys are constipated or just trying to get more fiber in your diet. Chia seeds are amazing. I have 2 cans of artichokes, one's hearts and one's quarters. The ingredient labels are totally different. I just wanted to show you guys really quick. This one says 3 grams of net carbs for 6 for the whole can, so of net carbs. And this one is saying that there's 3 servings in the can, but it's 5. So that one's saying 15 net carbs for that can. So when you run into things like this, just Google it and find the actual carb count for artichoke hearts, and then if you're tracking, just go ahead and insert that. This one right here is a little controversial. We have sweet corn. It's baby corn. These have nutrition like cauliflower, so it's definitely low carb. This is the oil, the extra light tasting olive oil that I like to make my mayonnaise with. Some red wine vinegar I like for my salads, or I like to mix it in my mayonnaise. And these I have had forever. I don't normally eat canned chilies and stuff like that. I usually just make like chop up some fresh or whatever. But this is a low carb, and you know, it's a good option if you guys want to add some flavor to like your meat. If you're making shredded beef or something, just make a naked enchilada with no tortilla and just put some green chili sauce, some sour cream and cheese, or onions and olives, whatever you want to add to it. Just a good option. Have some tuna and then some sardines. If you guys haven't tried sardines, I highly recommend trying them. I actually really like them. Sometimes I like them more than tuna, and they're actually really good. But just be careful. You want to get the ones that have like keto-friendly ingredients. You don't want any sauces or sugar or anything like that added to your sardines or any of your meats, because I know that there's some prepackaged tuna that has you know, sauces and stuff, so you want to avoid those as well. Got some canned chicken and salmon. So off to the freezer, I picked up some bone-in skin-on half chicken breasts at the store because they were on sale. Normally I get boneless, skinless, and just add my fat to it. And then I have those sausages that have been in here forever because I have not been eating them. I'll probably cook those up for the kids and just stop repurchasing them just because I'm just not the hugest fan. And this one has dextrose and sugar. My ice cream bowl that I make my ice cream in, and then I have some packaged beef that I just package flat in smaller little portions so that they're easy to pull out and thaw out, and some frozen veggies I like to keep on hand just in case the fresh stuff is expensive or like looking really bad. So I got some cut green beans and spinach and some more spinach, and that's just a neck cooler. And then I have some shrimp and almonds. I like to keep them in my freezer, otherwise I will eat them so fast, so I like to keep them in there. Moving on to the fridge, I have some pre-ground decaf espresso. I've been drinking caffeine lately, so that's been in here. Some canned coconut milk, which is great, especially if you're dairy-free. I'm going dairy-free starting soon here for the first of the year for a couple weeks, so I'll definitely be making something with that can. And I noticed right here that my heavy cream contains milk, The organic one I buy is just heavy cream, so I don't know why they would add milk to heavy cream. But this is one of my favorite dairy-free combinations, is that Starbucks iced coffee, the dark roast, and some unsweetened vanilla almond milk, the almond breeze. I love putting like a cup of each in a glass of ice and adding a little bit of sweetener. It's really, really good, and it's only 30 calories. So that's a really good alternative if you guys feel like you're drinking way too many calories. All right, that was the kids' peanut butter and jelly to the right, but I love having some pepperoncinis and peppers and pickles on hand. It's great if you have a headache or cramping. And this one's great because it doesn't have yellow food coloring, which so many of them do, but that one's colored with turmeric. And right there was my tomato sauce, my ride or die tomato sauce, and some sauerkraut that I'm building up the courage to eat. I'll just leave it there for now. I like the tomato sauce because it has a cap. You could just squirt a little bit out and then cap it back up and you're good to go. Sour cream from Thanksgiving, it's totally almost gone. So once this is gone, I will probably not be having any more sour cream, even though I love it. But just for 2 weeks, dairy-free. I'll be back. Sour cream. I love you. My fridge is a little bare. Eggs do belong up there, but I ran out. So as far as soda goes, I like to get the small ones with the caps just because it's really not good to drink them, period. And the Zevia to me is gross. So every once in a while I will drink regular soda, aspartame. I know it's bad. And so is bag cheese. You guys want to try to stay away from bag cheese. I ran out of the block stuff. I like to take block cheese and shred it up myself. I also have some bacon back there, but for convenience for my family, I keep bag cheese around because everybody here eats bag cheese because it's convenient and nobody likes to grate cheese. Right here I have some cream cheese, and I like to get the one that has 1 carb per serving. There is a Philadelphia one that's 2, but I like to get the 1, less carbs, it's always better. Some baby spinach and greens, a little cut up lemon, and some celery. I've been trying not to keep too much fresh produce on hand just because I'll eat it, and you know, carbs add up even if it's vegetables, you guys, so you gotta watch out for that carb creep. Some leftover green beans. I have my sesame seeds for my stir fry that I like to make. I like to keep my seeds and nuts and stuff cool because I don't eat them as much, so I like to keep them in the refrigerator so they stay good and don't go rancid. These hemp seeds are amazing. You can add them to your chia oat meal or your chia porridge or your chia pudding, and it just adds a great texture. Unsweetened coconut's really great toasted. You can kind of use it as a cereal substitute, add some sweetener and cinnamon. And there's some ground flax. Oh, there was also almond flour in there as well. I don't really like flax that much, but I'm trying to go through it. Here's my butter area. Just some basic butter, salted, and some Kerrygold. Coconut oil, some bacon grease, my probiotics, and that right there is my filter for my Toddy cold brewing coffee brewing system. I've been trying to think of a recipe to use this red curry paste, but I'll probably end up just using some chicken and coconut milk and adding some of this to it. 3 carbs for 1 tablespoon will go quite a ways, so I'm not really worried about the carb content on this, so I'm really excited to try it. I have some of the not best Parmesan cheese, but that's okay. I heard it's cut with sawdust, but we'll just ignore that. And I have some anchovy paste because I've been trying to make my own dressings to avoid the really terrible oils that are in most store-bought dressings. And this is the only ketchup that I'll use. This is the reduced sugar ketchup. I don't use ketchup that often, but when I do, it's this one right here. I will not use regular stuff. Got some mustards, Grey Poupon, and then I have some horseradish mustard, which is so, so good. I love these kinds of mustards. And always check your ingredients. You don't want to get a honey mustard because chances are there's sugar in that. So this one's pretty basic: red pepper, vinegar, water, mustard seed, horseradish. Here's your classic yellow mustard. All right, moving on to my coffee section, I have some pure almond extract, lemon extract, and you want to get the ones that are made with alcohol. So here's raspberry flavor, but I noticed that it is made with alcohol. Propylene glycol, that's totally fine. You don't want to get the ones that are made with syrups and stuff like that have added sugar. I have my banana extract back there, and I totally love putting that in like cakes or like make banana bread because I do miss bananas sometimes, so it's nice to be able to get that flavor every once in a while. And I have some 100% pure peppermint essential oil, sorry. I like to use that in my coffee, and I also like to use it in bath bombs because it's very versatile and it's super good for you. And I also have some raspberry flavor back there. Ryan gave this to me. I've used it once, and I made some sour gummies with some citric acid, water, raspberry flavor, and gelatin, so that was really good. And I have this big bottle of vanilla extract that is my mom's. I need to give it back to her. I borrowed it over Thanksgiving, so thanks, Mom. I'll get this back to you, promise. This one is the real deal, the pure vanilla. You want to get the real stuff, you guys. And I have some coffee, some Pike Place, which is what I've been loving lately. Got some espresso back there, and then Ryan wanted to pick up some Folgers instant coffee, which he hasn't even opened yet. Some erythritol, cocoa powder, and in this container is some pure sweetener. It's erythritol and stevia blend. And then I have some liquid sucralose, which is my go-to. And up here, thank you Perfect Keto for sending me all this. I have some MCT oil powder, got some chocolate and vanilla, matcha powder, lemon, microgreens, which I'm really excited to try, some chocolate collagen, which is almost gone because it's super, super good, and I also have some regular collagen peptides up there. Got some matcha green tea. See, it's not just because Perfect Keto sent it to me, I actually do love matcha. And the pure sweetener, there's my Soleil water and some cinnamon, my lovely pink salt, I can't get enough. My little pepper stash, I got regular pepper, a pepper grinder, and some peppercorn medley, which is really good. Some allspice, cloves, ginger, pumpkin pie spice. Keto doesn't have to be boring, you guys, just spice it up. Like, there's so many different flavors you can get just by adding spices, and it's really, really low carb. I do count my onion powder and garlic powder, just because if you add a lot of onion and garlic powder, it will add up, and those are carbs, so you want to make sure to count that if you're tracking religiously and like in weight loss mode. Nutmeg there, and then I have some peppercorns down there, and then right above that I have some dehydrated onion, which I like to add to eggs sometimes, but you gotta be careful on the carb count as well. Some baking powder, some xanthan gum. I like to thicken my gravies with the xanthan gum, like just you know, you'll cook your turkey like a different Thanksgiving, add some xanthan gum, and then it'll thicken it up, and it's a really good alternative. Some white pepper, and I believe underneath there was paprika, and then some cayenne pepper. I like to use that for my taco meat, and pretty much anything to spice it up. I'll put it on chicken too. And then over here I have some chili powder. I like to use this for my taco meat and chili, and it's almost gone. I need more. Some chia seeds that were from an open container that I had used, so I need to use those up soon. And then down here I have some cumin. I just re-upped and filled that baby up. I love cumin, the perfect Mexican spice in my mind. Cream of tartar. You can use this with your egg whites when you're making cream cheese pancakes or cloud bread. And then I have my jar of garlic, and that big jar underneath was onion powder. And then over here I have a few. Some of these are Ryan's, but some are mine. The Italian seasoning, basil. New salt is basically potassium chloride, so if you're cramping up, try sprinkling some of this on your food. It'll give you the potassium. We got some tahini, which is traditionally put on like fruit, a Mexican like side or whatever, just a treat, but you could put it on cucumbers, is also good. This is Ryan's. It's black pepper, red pepper, and sunflower oil. I don't use it because I'm like, why add oil to it? So that's kind of annoying, but I just keep it in there for him, so maybe he'll use it someday. And some crushed red pepper flakes. And I wanted to show you this right here. I grew up eating this stuff, the Lowry seasoned salt. Second ingredient, sugar. What? So yeah, I don't eat that. And this was also a staple in my past, modified cornstarch and sugar, so I definitely don't eat that. But the coriander, the chipotle pepper stuff, I'll use. And here's where I keep my lemon, the garlic, and my tomatoes sometimes. So this is my beverage area. Had my water up there, and this is my black tea bags, my chai tea bags. I also have some peach, which I'm not a fan, so those have been in there for like a year. And then I have some more peach that's been in there forever. And my favorite, which is the passion tea. This is what I make my apple cider vinegar tea with. This is like my go-to right now. And you can go to Starbucks too and get the same one because they have iced passion tea there as well. I hope you guys like this video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.